Hello and welcome. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the T95E6, a tier 10 American medium tank which was recently handed out in the clan wars. Not most of you will have it, but I will let you know the weaknesses and show you some gameplay on how it performs. Jumping straight in, we see that this tank has pretty decent turret armor, 340 mils on the front, probably mostly the gun mantle. And it has 114 frontal hull armor, which probably be angled quite well to pull off the bounce if the enemy's using all the gun depression on this tank. The lower plate is fairly weak and flat. If you see it, it's not angled that well. The turret is quite comparable between a T10E5's turret and an M60 turret. It has the M60's big cupola, as well as the T110E5 sloping on the turret, as well as the end bit. Moving on to the sides of the tank, it has 50 side armor and 76 turret armor, with a pretty bad 19 rear hull armor and 50 rear turret armor. Moving on to the 3D model, we can see some live armor values. As we see, the upper hull plate actually has a range of armor values on it. This main one here is 95 millimeters, but it's angled quite well, so you get effective armor of 190 millimeters. This one is 101 millimeters, which is slightly less armor than this one front on. It just depends where you're hitting it on the plate. And then as we move up the hull plate, we see that you can get armor values of up to 300, 400 millimeters, depending on where you hit. This tank has quite a weak turret ring, only 150 mils, which you can pen quite easily if you do find yourself in a face-hugging situation if you're unable to flank the tank. Moving on to the turret, we see that it has good strong plates of armor either side of the gun mantle, which range from 370 to 300 millimeters. You really don't want to be shooting that unless you're firing premium ammo. And then the gun mantle is actually quite pinnable in some places, so 250 to 300 mils, and then the center of it is just unpinnable. If you can shoot the cheeks of this tank, and you will be able to pen with standard ammo if you're a tier 10 heavy tank, although probably not worth it since you can have this big cupola you can shoot, which is nice and flat and not that well armored if you're a tier 10 tank or tier 9 tank with a 105mm gun or 120mm gun. Moving on to the side armor, you can pen it quite easily with HESH rounds or HE rounds from the middle back, since the front does have still a bit of armor. Tracks do provide 20 mils of spaced armor, so keep that in mind whenever you're shooting various ammos at it. And yeah, pretty garbage at the back, pretty easy to pen. Let's take a look at some gameplay. Jumping into the gameplay here, we have the T95E6 on Serene coast. Gameplay is kindly provided by Usundru, whose link will be left in the description, or if you click in the top right hand corner of this video. Usundru is going to progress onto the hill and try and use this tank's mediocre turret armor and 9 degrees of gun depression to try and focus down enemies. Another aspect Usundru needs to remember is to not allow the enemies to pull shots off on his cupola due to its large size. Pressing up there, you can see me being an absolute... I don't know how to describe myself. Not using my brain. And I took a large amount of damage there, 1.2k damage. Not using my brain. Sorry it took me so long to get more content put up on my channel. I've just been waiting for this 1080p monitor, as you now can't see the two black lines that appear on the side of the screen. The first one I got was broken on delivery, so this is the second one. Just trying to pull off a shot here on this log, which he doesn't quite get.
Permission to engage. Target unlocked. Enemy armor is hit.
snipe here. Didn't quite get the shot off on the 50B. He does get the shot off on the T57 heavy for a healthy 385 damage roll. Trying to the semi now. It's a good tracking shot off on him. He can't progress around. And he puts another tracking shot into them. Won't use repair kit, which he's already used. Unfortunate bounce there off the M103's controller. His tank's healthy, 258 pen. He should have been able to come through that. Both tanks here struggling to go through this M103's controller. Well, Austin finally gets a shot to his cupola. And then receives a hit in his cupola, I believe, yes. Shot right there in his cupola. Gets another good hit into the M103. Body here in the 1390 is coming along to do something. There's not much he can do with his limited pen. Oh, a little touch shot there on the T94. Doesn't quite hit the top of the turret properly. Ooh, shot's a bit hostile. Gonna get the killing blow in the 1-3, and he does. Now I'm gonna push up on the T34, which is a risky move here because T34 can push forward and be held down. T4 does not get the shot off on Austin. Austin does not get the shot off on T4. It's all a reasonably good trade there. Pulls a lucky bounce off the armor there. I believe he hit his gun mantle. Or no, he hit this. Hit the sloped armor of the turret, resulting in a bounce. So that isn't somewhere you do not want to shoot. T95E6, the side turrets hit the flat bits and hit the cupola, but do not hit the side turrets. You will just automatically bounce. Pulls off a nice lead kill there on the T54 Mod 1.
Permission to engage. Let's find another target.
But hit 10 damage there. It's a more important target to take out. This, I wouldn't say tight, but enough situation.
Penetration.
They take both the 1390, or the WZ122 and Object 268 out, as well as the 50B.
Ready to fire.
Unfortunate bounce of the bat shot there.
Target acquired.
Being a little aggressive here. Unfortunately gets a critical hit
Target unlocked.
in the FE3805.
Enemy armor is hit.
Being a little bit aggressive here. And I think that gets the best of him. Yes.
We're done for. Everyone.
A little too aggressive. Caught him out. Unfortunately, this aggressive play does lead to Austin getting killed. So let's hop into the post-game stats. Hopping into the post-game stats does reveal that they won the game. Austin got a base XP of 975, which was the highest in the team. The highest damage of 4.2k damage. Receiving second class mastery, bruiser, fire for effect, and confederate, considering he did hit damaging 9 enemies but only getting 3 kills. Let's move into the second replay. This time Drew's on highway, and he's going to be heading up north to try and engage the large amount of medium tanks that the enemy have. Should also be trying to contest the 2 light tanks they now have in the middle.
Ready to fire. Target unlocked.
And they're considering auto-aiming shot on the light tanks in the middle, but decides that it will be worth it. The chance of hitting will be very slim. Now we have a bat shot here. We have a wolf pack of medium tanks, so we can easily engage and take down this bat shot. You can also get to work this 9 degrees gun pressure.
Let's find another target.
He's because of a shot there in that bat shot.
Ready to fire. Enemy armor
Finishing off that bat shot there with a slight high roll. Tank only does have 390 alpha. Alright, take that back, this tank is 400 alpha.
We didn't even scratch
An
them.
unfortunate bounce there off the T54 lightweight.
Gotcha.
Pretty clutch shot there off on the T54 lightweight. He didn't have an outline, but he still took the shot and got the kill. As you can see, this tank does shift, but this is on flat ground, so immediately as we hit the hill, this tank's going to slow way down, which it's pretty awful ground resistance. We've been overrun in the city, so what these men need to do now is either camp or push straight into the city and kill everything. 5-3 now. They've lost 2 tier 10s and we've lost 3, so it could go either way. Personally for me, I just go into the city and kill everything, and this is what Ushandru is going to do. Gets taken out by the T110E5 on the enemy team. Leaves this game down to Austin.
That one bounced.
This game could still go anyway, because they do have more tier 10s than we do.
Target acquired. Enemy armor is hit. Let's find another target. Enemy is hit.
So rounds here into this EUDM, who's now taken out by the T4 lightweight.
Track hit.
I believe the tracks absorbed that shot from the T110E5. .40, which we take out. It's an
Enemy
easy
vehicle
kill.
destroyed.
Easy kill. Trigger FP100 here is rushing this 140. And we ammo axe him for 1,000 health.
Penetration.
Drew here putting in a nice shot there at range. Showcasing this tank's .34 accuracy. Ushandru has bigger fish to fry. We now have an A100, a T110E5, a 212A, and a 183 in the city here. And he has to back up this Type 61. Which is exactly what he's going to do.
Target acquired. Enemy
There's the
armor is
T110E5. Comes around. Type 61 gets shotgunned by the 212A. Drew here now, loading heat rank to secure the penetrations on the C100.
Enemy armor is damaged. We didn't even scratch them.
Nice shot there by artillery, taking out that E100 for 1,000 hit points. Drew now going after the 212A. Follow the 212A.
Ready to enemy vehicle destroyed.
Hunting after this 183. You could still one-shot Drew with any shot unless he fires a hash round and hits the tracks and doesn't bend. Oh, the 183. Spotted. He's facing the wrong direction. You can pop around this corner, put a cheeky shot in, pull back. He's in the cover of this building. Bait the 183 round. This is the rear mounted turret that allows us to get a shot off the 183 before he can get a shot off on us. He then misses his shot. Allows us to then put another shot on the 183, penetrating the lower plane. And that is it. Let's hop into the post-game stats. Moving into the post-game stats, we see Drew got 3,422 XP. That was a double, leaving him with a base XP of 1,141. With 4,321 damage, first class mastery badge, a bunch of tokens, and Top Gun, because he got 6 kills. Thanks for watching this video. Like if you liked it, comment so I can speak to you guys, and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.